going to do a different story today, partly because the rest of the story that I read yesterday is currently still under development. I will be keeping the titles short, so you know which story is which. It's kind of a build-up for every single story, and kind of a bit of a workshop as well, so you can use it to explore different characters and what works and what doesn't work. I'm going to read a prologue and chapter 1 of the next story. This is a story that I wrote kind of the same time I was interested in pirates, like Captain Kidd and Blackbeard. But I wasn't. The reason why this story is different is because I was not convinced that pirates are pure evil. There were such a thing in those days as buccaneers. Now, buccaneers are different to pirates. They are trained, they are employed to go around the sea and raid ships. However, they're employed by the king. This makes them legal, but kind of not legal at the same time. And when they do something wrong, it's usually the contract goes missing somehow. Kind of like work. So I wanted to create a story of two pirates that are born into that kind of environment, not raised, born. So as we read the story, I want you to comment on what works, what doesn't work. By the way, I did get some feedback from someone that I met today. This is going to change. I'm not going to keep doing this in front of my bed, on the bedroom. It is going to be somewhere else on the green screen. But we do need to tidy the office up a little bit because it is getting a bit messy. So once we get that sorted out, these videos will start to expand a little bit. So on with the story. And this is called Pirates of Peace. Prologue. Long ago, in the depth of the seven seas, two young pirates sailed together, free, happy. A captain and first mate. Together they spread fear, trailing blood. Then, in the time of victory, they disappeared. The ship disappeared. Some say the pirate Marie de Cole sails on a different ship, a wanted fugitive. Everyone knew her face. Every pirate wanted her blood. But her first mate, Ashley Seashell, no one knows. Some say Marie killed herself. Some say Marie killed her. Some say she escaped. No one has ever seen her. No one's ever seen her face. She was always too quick, too professional in her swordsmanship. However, as with everything, pirates have their ways of hiding. Chapter 1. April, can you make a deer out of the wood? April looked up, her knife balanced on the corner of the wood. The wood splintered, stained. Her wood splintered, stained jumpsuit. Sorry, I'm struggling to read my own handwriting here. Her wood splintered, stained jumpsuit stretched over her slim form. The girl looked wide-eyed, child innocence, eyes like a puppy. A tight-chested corset, strangling dress portrayed a perfect image. Who could blame her? She was, after all, the king's daughter. I can try, but I can't promise. April rested her equipment on the stall among her wooden statues. Carefully carved ships and realistic animals stood boldly on the flat surface. Princess Mary admired them. A horse with her mane flailing and her legs reared in a frozen jump. A dog gazing as wantingly as she had. The ship's sails looked like they were flapping in the breeze. These were beautifully carved and painted with extreme difficult detail. April had been in the village for 7 months. Her carvings had created an impression on the princess. She was an amazing person. Carving a deer shouldn't be a problem. "You've never turned away from a challenge before?" She stroked a well-detailed dragon. April failed to keep her mouth shut. "I've never seen a deer." "So, you can carve a dragon, but you can't carve a deer?" April smiled. "You had me there. A dragon is an imaginary creature, so I used my mind to create an image that inspired this carving." She rested a hand on the carving itself. "But a deer is a real creature." "I have a picture." Marie handed a photo of a wild stag. April stepped from behind her stall and took the photo, her eyes professionally marking the shape of the back, the curve of the legs, and the shape of the antlers. "Will it help?" "When do you want it by?" The question was gentle, her eyes gleaming with the matching smile. "My birthday." 2 weeks? Too impossible? I never said that. April slammed the photo on the stool. "But I might need to be undisturbed." "Whatever you need." Mary raced away. "Keep the photo." April watched her skip away to join the guards waiting at the corner. She scooped up the photo and slipped behind her stall. Carefully, she packed her wooden statues in a box, pocketed the photo, and entered her workshop behind the stall. Wood chippings and blocks of wood littered every table in the room. A chair stood next to a working desk. April placed the photo on the desk, but she didn't sit down. She crossed to a chest of drawers and yanked a drawer out. Her hands stroked something hidden, her face twisted with memories. Slowly, her eyes trailed to the desk. The past was the past. She needed to live again. April sat as if in a trance on the chair and reached for her carving knife. So what do you think? It's a bit raw, but it sort of expresses her in a way, and it keeps the mystery. Like, subscribe, and comment on the bottom on what you think I can do to improve my stories. I always love your comments. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow.